You're welcome. It's time for Breakfast Extra for a Saturday morning here. Inam and I just talking about something from over your monologue, how social media influences everything, not just people's perception or their position, but also the visuals as well.
Yes.
Everybody loves a good, sharp image, and that's why social media is a big deal to be considered when it comes to anything. Absolutely.
Yeah, but should that be the narrative? Is social media supposed to be what shapes our perception, or we are supposed to shape the narrative of social media?
It's a collective of people's opinion, and people's opinion, your individual opinion, sometimes reflects what you have gathered.
Yeah, but I think that's the problem.
Fair.
But I think that's the problem, though, because how can a bunch of people that you don't even know shape your perception and how you do things? You like to take your pictures at a landscape, but if you do it on portrait, it gets all of these reactions. So you just automatically decide, because this is what they like and what they respond to, I'm going to do it like that.
It's called culture.
Yeah, it's not, I don't even think it's called, I mean, as much as we call it
culture builds.
As much as we call it culture, there's a problem in identity there. I think that's where it gets distorted, because you know what you like, but you do things, you don't do things that you like, you do things that they like because you want to appease these social media gods.
Very true, very true.
That's a problem.
Yeah, short conversation there, I thought we'll bring that one to you. But let's talk about today's show. Going to be very interesting as we take a look at the insurgency instances in just this morning. We also have a very interesting conversation about the new IG of police, which has been the main rave all through the entire week, as people have been talking, giving their own, well, opinion about the switch. Is it political, or is it really for national interest? There's much more here to talk about, as we have already our guests on standby, and we'll be going to them to have these conversations. So welcome once again on Breakfast Extra. My name is Mazino Appeal, and of course,
Inam Maso
is joining. Let's do the papers, shall we, this morning?
Yes, let's.
All right. So what do we have? Chiwete has spoiled our thing. I'm sorry. Let's do the Tribune first, shall we?
Let's go ahead and start with the Tribune. The Tribune right there. Mazino, should you take it or I?
Okay, I'll do the Tribune. First off, the Tribune has this on its front page. Court validates 2025 PDP elective convention, affirms Turaki-led NWC. Finally, we get some direction. So this is going to actually give plenty of, it's going to settle the waters, whatever's happening inside of the PDP, because this was a big factor with the inconclusive status of opposition in Nigeria. The Turaki-led NWC, National Working Committee, finally has been recognized and affirmed. Grand, congratulations to them. Now let's get to some good opposition. Party welcomes court judgment, urges police to unseal secretariat. Judgment is no news, says Wike's camp. Yeah, it's the story of the fox and the grapes. When you can't get the grapes, you simply just say, yeah, I bet they were sour anyway. That's exactly what's happening here. 48 kids stolen in Gombe. Governor Yahaya, FCT police rescued 21 children from traffickers. And my health started to deteriorate after my husband became a herbalist.
Oh, wow.
That should be the other way around, but...
Wicked man.
Gunmen kill 5, injure 3 in Plateau. Governor threatens community leaders. We'll be talking plenty about that, I think, our very first story here. And also, Bauchi government meets Tinubu, denies defection plots. I'm not lonely in PDP. Fintiri's defection has wounded Atiku's 2023 ambition, says the presidency, and 2027 polls will be Tinubu versus APC versus Nigeria, says Atiku. Oh, everybody's bracing up for 2027, and everything links up to 2027 elections, including, which we will have this conversation, the resignation of the IG and his replacement, which has so many factors to it. What happens to the people who, or the officers who are his senior?
My senior,
I'll tell
yes,
you,
the seniors, yeah.
they have to resign.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
That's a bad one. But before we get into that conversation, Mazino, let's move to the Saturday Punch.
Punch, yes, please. What we got on the Punch?
Up at the top there, we've got Anatomy of Excellence. 50 UI first-class law graduates share success secrets. That's a good one. Congratulations to them. And then right over there, how aunties abused us as children. Those are male celebrities giving their own perspective.
This was the big conversation all week on social media, by the way, with a few very prominent celebrities coming out to tell that they were abused as kids. Now, these were male celebrities. It gives you an idea of how rampant child abuse is when it comes to our culture. And I think it's a culture. And the stories are always the same. It's a similar pattern. It's often somebody who's brought in to take care of the kids, entrusted with their safety and security, but turns against them and abuses them. I think we're having that conversation today inside of Breakfast Xtra.
And then right underneath there, we've got Lagos police awaits Simi's case file.
That's another one.
2027, on your marks, set, go. Parties raced against May deadline for primaries. The PDP, the ADC, the NNPP accuse INEC of creating impossible hurdles. Interesting one. The APC to opposition, go to court or boycott the polls.
Very bold.
That's very,
very
I like,
bold.
yeah, I mean, I think it's necessary now.
Do you remember that picture of the dogs being released, the
Yes.
hounds being released for a race, and then the cheetahs staying back and
Yes.
like, nah.
You go first, I'll catch up.
It seems to be the same thing with if you put all the all the parties and at the gates and then, flip it open. It's like the APC is that cheetah, like, nah.
We'll let you get a head start.
Yeah.
So we look like we're playing fair.
Yeah.
That's the unfortunate. Yep, we'll let you get a head start. So we look like we're playing fair because in all fair, but they say all is fair in love and war.
Well, this is politics. There are loopholes you can take advantage of. Not saying that they're doing anything that is outrightly wrong, but if you take advantage of the system in a way that profits your drive, your motion, all's fair in love and war, I guess. But the nuances are what we don't pay attention to.
There was a quote that I saw some time ago that said, I'll find it, I'm not sure if it was Plateau, but he said, if voting could change anything, people actually wouldn't be allowed to vote. There was a quote like that, where if voting really had
anything,
then people would not be allowed to vote.
Interesting.
So for them, it's like, well, allow them to do it so they think they have rights, so they think their voices matter. But in actual reality, do they really matter?
What else do we got?
So underneath there, still on Saturday Punch, we've got why men are turning to unverified manhood enlargement remedies. Mazino.
Why did I know you were going to do that? Why did you call my name?
Do you have something y'all want to tell us?
I don't know. I cannot speak for the generality of men.
Jeepers creepers. Right underneath there, we've got real reasons Tinubu sacked XIG Egbetokun.
What is it? Wow.
I really actually want to know. People say, oh, well, he was due for retirement, this, that. They kept him longer. Personally, I feel like, Mazino, there is more. There are skeletons in that closet.
There's always more. And I sent you a list. This always happens with the IGs. There's always a replacement, especially close to elections. In this particular instance, we're still going to have the same situation we had with the former IG Egbetokun when it comes to the retirement age. I bet everybody's looking at that now. But why exactly are these chess pieces being moved so close to the elections? They talked about disagreements between him and the president and Egbetokun, but I sincerely doubt that. I just think that this is just... It's, like I said, loopholes being taken advantage of, especially before the elections. Is that all you got for the Saturday Punch? Or?
Let me see if there's anyone that I feel like is notable before we move on to the next one. No, actually, okay.
All right.
Wike faction kicks as Oyo court upholds PDP convention.
They would.
And then the last one at the bottom there says, Fintiri joins APC.
Yep,
Atiku's son shuns defection.
He did.
Defection upon defections.
Yes, indeed, just one party. Let's move on now to the Nation newspaper for a Saturday morning. Nation's got this. Atiku's home state falls as Fintiri joins the APC. Big blow, everybody would say. Fintiri, he kept this one to his heart for a while and then boom, surprised everybody. Now, Adamawa governor defects with cabinet. PDP executives, I beg your pardon, 14 LG chairman, says realignment reposition states with mainstream national politics. 2027 will be Atiku/APC versus Nigerians, says Atiku. Will be Tinubu rather, /APC versus Nigerians. And PDP factions differ as Oyo Court validates Ibadan Convention. Pro-Wike faction dismisses ruling as academic. In London property, Ozehome Hussaini arraigned over alleged forgery. Court grants each 10 million naira bail. Oops. At the bottom, we see this this picture here, vanishing Imo communities where homes are sinking. We have a big problem in certain states in Nigeria, erosion. And you can wake up one morning and your entire hometown is gone. Very sad. DSS arrests terror kingpin behind mass abduction at Kogi Ekwa Church. Congratulations, now we're getting results on how we discovered 13.7 billion naira fraud in Osun government payroll, says consultant. Alleged 8.7 billion naira fraud, court remands Malami's son, wife in prison. Family reunion, yay. And Simi, NAPTIP, commences probe into daycare abuse allegations. This was from years ago. It's actually just coming up again because of all the talk about abuse and all that's been on social media lately. And Osun Speaker, 24 lawmakers dump PDP for Accord Party. Ah, good. At least we see a different narration here. Instead of dumps PDP for the APC, it's dumps PDP for the Accord Party. And
it's still a dumping.
It's still from the PDP,
it's still a dumping.
Suffering most of the defections, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Told from before, Atiku's home state's gone to the APC.
Very sad.
What do we have?
We've got the Guardian Weekend next.
All right.
I'll start with the headline right there. With all the pretty faces, gentlemen of Nigeria, why echoes of a state police can't be ignored. Mazino, you said something about this. It's never a beautiful transition. There's always something behind it. Hopefully, we will get to know what that something is. And then right underneath in yellow there, it says, Senate to accelerate constitution amendments as Tinubu pushes reform. The NASS, governors, the state assemblies align on proposal. Stakeholders differ. Prefer pathways to better policing systems. And then state police, achievable ad efficient Yoruba leaders of thought insists, or insights, I beg your pardon. And then right at the top there, it says, Funke Olaode hones skills with the certification from Harvard, as well as other institutions. And then right next to her there, Oyo State at 50, when celebration becomes a launch pad for next developmental architecture. And then in the blue at the bottom there, we've got PDP crisis, factions renew rivalry as court validates 2025 elective convention, affirms Turaki-led NWC. And then in red, 2027, INEC insists on reforms as protesters rally behind Amupitan.
I like that. I like that. It shows trust. It shows that... I just think that this is a good springboard to bounce off of when it comes to 2027 elections, especially with support. If the INEC can gather that trust and actually put out good reforms, then we might have just maybe better 2027.
But is the INEC capable of putting out good reform?
Yeah, we have 1 year. We'll find out. Let's see.
Hopefully. Hopefully.
What else do we have?
Let's do the last one. Still
Sachet.
on sachet alcohol ban. Distillers, labor unions vow no retreat, no surrender.
Yes, I was driving past the NAFDAC office yesterday and I saw the protests going on. They're actually still protesting. They've been protesting for quite a while. They haven't relented, quite frankly. And you have to wonder, for them, it's about local manufacturing. The fact that you're actually stifling local manufacturers is what they claim. However, there are other issues to take note of, and that's why the authorities are claiming.
So the reason for the ban, in essence, is it because it's readily available, or what's the notion behind it?
So Sachet, for one of the pioneering reasons, there are many, but one of the pioneering reasons was the availability, and the availability in hotspots like car parks. What happens at car parks? People congregate to go on journeys. But it's a culture that people drink, especially drivers, and this causes accidents. So it's cheap, it's available, it's, you know. So if you take out the sachets, then you've curbed one system at least. There are others to tackle, but at least this will curb one system. And it's affecting people's daily lives, you know, manufacturers and all of that. So.
I mean, I do agree with the ban. I do agree with the ban, especially from that narrative. I understand them crying out and saying, well, this is our well-being because this is how we make our money. But if the ideology or the sense has not come in that says, but you are making your money at the detriment or at the expense of other people, then I think they are also not getting the point.
I guess so.